Devoun Stewart grew up in dirt poverty on captured lands in Clarendon, but captured the PhD in chemistry at age 24. Welcome to Profile. I'm Ian Boyd. Devoun, at 24, just this year, you were awarded the PhD in chemistry, the hard sciences.
Yes.
At 24, yes. From the University of Howard University, with perfect scores, a perfect 4.0.
Yes.
Is throughout the PhD program, which you did in record time. You
yes.
did in 3 years rather than the 5 years.
Yes.
It is unusual for someone to receive the terminal degree in chemistry at 24, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite unusual for you to receive a PhD in chemistry at age 24. It's typically, the degree typically takes 5 to 7 years to complete, and people typically complete it when they're around 27, 30, later on in life.
So like when you were a teaching assistant at Howard, you would have been teaching people your age and older.
Yes, yes. I was teaching students. My students were typically older than I am, or around the same age group.
And when one looks at the kinds of obstacles you had to overcome to achieve the PhD at 24, you can't help but be inspired. You grew up in Bucks Common, yes. in Maypen.
Yes.
Tell us about the conditions there.
Yes. So I grew up on we just captured land in Maypen, Clarendon. We call it Bucks Common, in a one-bedroom house with me, my mother, and my 2 brothers. So it was 5 of us in a one-bedroom house. Yes. Me and my 2 other brothers slept on one bed, and my mother and father slept on the other bed. Yes. There was no roads. It was just dirt road tracks. And majority of us did not have electricity. We were one of the fortunate families to have electricity, and no water. So we had to walk. Yeah, we had to walk very far to carry water. No gas stove, none of the fancy living. So every time you wanted to cook, you had to use like coal stove or wood fire to cook. And
we're not talking about many years ago, because
no,
you're just 25.
Yeah,
so
just
it's the other day.
Yes, just the other day. And
so there were many times no lunch money.
No lunch money, no food.
No food.
No food at all.
Sometimes no lunch money and no dinner.
No dinner. And so I usually have to go to the shop, or my brother would have to go to the shop and trust 1 pound of rice, or quarter cut of butter if they still have quarter cut of butter, and a tin mackerel to eat. Yes. But my parents, my mother and father, they were a firm believer that education is key. Oh. And
even though they themselves were not educated.
They were not educated.
But they valued education.
They valued education, and they believed that education is key. So it didn't matter whether or not we had lunch money to go to school. Yes, I know. We had to go, whether or not it
and you walked to school, eh?
Oh, yeah, we walked to school. I walked to school every day. And so the one-bedroom house was right in front of a gully. So every time it rained, there was a huge gully in front of the house, and residents would typically help us to cross the gully, and I'll tie like black scandal bag over my school shoes and walk in the mud until I get to the paved roads, and I will take the scandal bag off and wash your shoes, and we went on to school. And you're going through all those difficulties just to get to school. And then when you get to school, you have nothing to eat. A lot of times I had no lunch money.
And sometimes you come home and there's no dinner awaiting you.
No food.
But you told me off here, and I had to mention this, that one of the things which kept your spirits up in those early days was Profile.
Profile.
You were watching Profile?
Yes. I watched Profile every Sunday evening.
As a young man, you had interest in Profile?
As a young man.
Because Profile.
As a young person, back in those days, I knew that I was going to be Dr. Devoun Stewart. And
yes, you felt that way?
I felt
in Bucks Town there?
In Bucks Common.
Bucks Common, yes.
Bucks Common.
You thought you were going to be a doctor?
Yeah, Dr. Devoun Stewart. And I signed my name, Dr. Devoun Stewart.
You used to sign your name, Doctor?
Sign my name, Dr. Devoun Stewart. And I knew the only way that I could get out of the situation that I was in is to actually go to school. And not only go to school, but to do well. And so...
And you saw yourself one day on the set of Profile?
And I definitely saw myself sitting on Profile one day.
You said you're going to reach?
Yeah, I said yes. It's just a matter of time before I'm sitting on that chair. And so I always vision and myself having the title of doctor and being successful.
So you were not limited by your circumstances at all? You did not feel that the limits to your world were there?
No. One of the things that I always say when I'm giving motivational speeches now to students who are from less privileged circumstances is that we all can dream. And your dream doesn't come with a cost. So despite of whether you're from a rich family or poor family or an extremely poor family, you can always dream and envision what you want to be in life. And the only thing, it's very simple. You just need to work hard to make that dream become a reality. And that does not come with costs in terms of money, but it's going to take a lot of your time and a lot of dedication. That's the only cost. Is how much work are you willing to put in to achieve whatever your dream is.
And you determined from early that you would put in what it costs.
Yes, what it costs. I had many sleepless nights. Many sleepless nights. Studying for exams, doing assignments, especially in college. I stayed up pretty much all night studying for exams.
Because when you were doing the PhD, you were advised to do about 9 credit hours, and you were going up to 15.
Yes. The typical, for a full-time graduate student, you're required to take 9 credit hours per semester. It is recommended. But when I started the program, I didn't listen to that. I was taking 15 credit hours per semester because I wanted to get the coursework, and I wanted to finish early. So I want the coursework requirement to be out of the way. So I started to take a lot more courses than required.
And you were working at the time?
Yeah, I was working as a teaching assistant, doing research.
Doing research in the lab?
Doing research in the lab, grading papers.
And probably writing papers too.
Writing papers and going to conferences, doing everything else as a normal graduate student, but taking almost twice the amount of coursework that you're supposed to take.
Because, you know, time wasn't on your side.
No.
The longer you were at university, the more it would cost you.
Yeah, more it would cost.
So you had to be there.
Yes. Yeah. And I worked extremely hard, which is why I finished the PhD within 3 years.
And Devoun, did you look at what might have seemed as disadvantages of your early life as actually an advantage?
Yes.
Did you use that as preparation?
Yes, yes, it is. My younger days, you know, walking to school, having no lunch money, looking back now, I knew that it was preparing me for what I was getting into. And it is, in life, you're supposed to use your challenges to your advantage. Yeah.
So you are not one who accepts any excuse about underachievement?
No.
Not poverty or lack of connections, these things, because you faced all of that.
Yes, yes. So when I got to grad school, I thought life was great. You know, life was great at that point. I'm not going to be hungry. Yes. I don't have to walk in. So there was nothing that the university could put on me that I would not do. Yes. There was nothing at all because I thought I've been through the worst.
That's right.
So I'm like, this is a walk in the park.
Yes.
Yeah,
So even when you had challenges with financing, you didn't let that deter you?
No.
You knew that having gone that far, there was only one way, and that was up.
Yes. So it was, for example, when I was in my second year at Howard University, I felt ill.
Fell ill?
Yes, I had eye issues, so I had to go and do a surgery. Yeah, my eye pressure was 2 times the amount that it's supposed to be, and that comes with massive headaches. I thought I was just pushing myself too hard. And so I had to immediately go into surgery. And I had the procedure done. I was told not to bend, walk, not to do any sort of strenuous activities. And it was during exam times.
During exam times?
During exam times in the PhD program. And I went to my professors, and they all told me that I could do the exam the following semester or later on. But I knew that if I put the exam off, it's going to probably delay my time in the program. So what I did, I went and I studied with one eye. I had a big patch over the eye.
Yes.
And I studied with one eye, and I went to the exam, and I did all the exams, and I got straight A's. So
Straight A's.
Straight A's. It's what you want, and how hard you're willing to work for it. And I said, okay, I have one eye. I'm seeing perfect. That's all I need. I just need one eye. I just need one eye to be able to study.
Devoun, Stewart is only 25. He received the PhD in chemistry when he was 24. Also studied at one of the finest universities in Sweden. He will tell us how he did those exams, even though the classes were in Swedish and he didn't know the language at all. Another inspiring story on Profile. We take our first break.